Okay, Colin?
Yep.
Colin, have you been to Board of Equalization prior to this? No. The process for years, I have to pro possibility to assess and appraise to all properties in uniform manner. They send out that assessment notice if you disagree with it. You have to reconcile with the assessor. We'll listen to the evidence. Decision based on what's given to us. Hopefully, through the process.
I'm got another sister.
So proceeding, we've got about 5 minutes time block here. I'd like you to spend about up to, don't be take it all, but up to the first 10 minutes justifying why you think they erred. Then we'll have the assessor give us the information they raised on.
Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. Let me just give you a little bit of history with myself. I retired 4 years ago to take care of my wife. She's got some health issues. I'm a certified public accountant. And therefore, being that I'm home quite a bit to watch her, I am very involved in watching real estate, watching investments, stock market, commodities, etc. Houses, either myself or in a partnership. I'm really interested in the real estate market. A couple of years we sold 3. I still have 5. So I'm pretty up to date on what things are going for, at least in my area. My home, as you can see from the picture, it's a very nice home. Reality of it is, it was built in '97, 26 years old. It's never been updated. It doesn't have the bells and whistles and all the fancy things that these newer homes have. And in fact, if you go look on Realtor.com or Zillow, any of the other things, and you look for houses in the price range that you guys have put me at, around 700,000. I mean, the houses are way newer, way nicer. All the bells and whistles, open kitchens, fancy cabinets, the big islands with the, with everything. Mine doesn't have. But anyway, so give you that whole bit of a history. So I'm basing the fact that this is too high on 4 factors. 1, the percentage increase that the county put on my house from last year to this year. 2, the estimate that I get looking at Zillow. 3, my own comparables. And 4, an assessment that I had performed by a licensed realtor. So let me start, and I know I have 10 minutes, so if I start getting close, wave your hand and I'll talk quick.
Just talk quickly.
As long as you guys listen quick.
Okay.
I'll talk quick. So to start with, in 2021, the value of my home was raised by $150,000. That's a 26% increase. I didn't argue with that because I thought, well, things are going up and, it's a nice house. Then when I got the appraisal for 2022, and it was raised another $110,000 for 16%. To be honest, I flipped my lid because I know what things are going for in my neighborhood, and this was way out of whack. But let's talk specifically about 2022. I think it's pretty common knowledge that as interest rates go up, houses go down in value. Now, there's other factors, but that's a huge factor. Interest rates started to go up March 17th of 2022. And they raised 6 more times for a total of 7 times that year. I contend that the value of homes, and Zillow reflects this. If you look on Zillow, there's a chart, and if you want me to hook it up, I can show you. It's essentially a bell curve. And the bell curve shows that from January to June, houses went up. Now, March 17th, interest rates went up. So in June, houses leveled off and they started going down. And if we look at December 31st, and I have specific numbers if you like, it's come down to almost the same that it was. If I specifically tell Zillow I want only Bonneville County, because I want to try and look and be fair, right? The houses went up 6.7% from January through July. And then from July to December, they dropped 5.5%. That's a net increase of 1.3%. But yet the county has raised me 16%. And again, I can tell you specific numbers. I can show you the chart. That's the number one. Number two, Zillow provides an estimate of the value of homes. Now, let me I just Googled in, and my question was, how accurate is Zillow? And there's a number of realty forums and things that discuss this. So this is per Real Estate Wizard, but most of them are pretty similar to this. And I'll quote, Zillow is widely considered the most accurate home value estimator. It has a median error rate of just 1.9% for on-market homes and 6.9% for off-market homes. Having said that, so what does Zillow have me at as of December 31st? Zillow had me at 618,000. The county has me at 691,000. I think in anybody's eyes, that would raise an eyebrow. Wow, that's a big difference. So let me go to number 3, which is the comparables. I presented to the county, or I talked to them on the phone about comparables, and I thought the best thing to do would be get comparables in my neighborhood. And I have 4 of them within a half a mile of where I live. The county refused to consider any of them because they said they were single family homes. Mine's a 2-story, right? And I disagree with that. I mean, if you look at anything on real estate, generally a single family home sells for more per square foot than a 2-story, simply because they're more money to build, because the foundation, the roof is the most expensive parts of the house. But I went back, since they wouldn't consider those, and I looked at 2-story homes that sold in 2022. And I think she gave you this. Did you get the comparables? 165 West Woodhaven Lane. Did she give you that? I don't know if that's in the handout that was passed out. Anyway, this is a 2-story, 5-bedroom home, 3.5 bath, 4,503 square foot. Built in 2001. I think it's an excellent comparable. It's in the Stony Brook development, which in my opinion is nicer than my development.
What is that thing? What is the address?
West Woodhaven. That whole house sold for $580,000. The second comparable I have is 1390 Blue Ridge Circle. It's a 2-story, 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, with 4,350 square foot. It was built in 2003. It was sold for $610,000 with a $10,000 concession made where the buyer paid the fees at the end. Essentially it was $600,000. This development, I think, is similar to mine. I drove by all these as well as the comparables from the county. The third one I have is 407 Pervero Drive. This is the house across the street from me. It sold in May. It's a 1-story, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,740 square foot. It sold for $500,000 in May of 22. And I enclosed this house because it's right across the street from mine, number 1. And number 2, even though it's not a 2-story, it provides perspective on the price of houses in my neighborhood. And incidentally, if I look at the comparables that Justin gave me, it's the exact same house as one of the comparables that was originally given to me. These on here I haven't seen before. The difference is the comparable from the county, from what I can tell, it looks like they fixed their attic up into a playroom for kids. So that's considered a 2-story. But if you look, and I said, if you want to pull it up, the 2 houses are the exact same house. But their county is saying they won't consider the one across the street, but they'll consider this one that has an attic that's fixed up for kids, that's in a newer development. So those are my 3 comparables. Let me go over quickly. I was provided 4 comparables for the county. I drove by all of them. Now, again, I don't know, these appear to be different ones. And I got pictures of the ones provided by the county. 2030 Irene Lane. It's a 2-story, 7-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,800 square foot home, built in 2007. It was put up for sale for $680,000. I don't know what it sold for, but it's the development behind the Ermac Hospital, very fancy development where a lot of the doctors and surgeons. I look at the house, it's exactly what I said. Number 1, it's 10 years newer than mine. The nicer development, open kitchen, brand new kitchen cabinets, new granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, very open look, everything mine doesn't have. And even that is lower than the price you gave me. Comparable number 2 from Dustin, 3480 April Avenue. The 2-story, 5-bedroom home, 3-bath, 4,300 square foot, built in 2006. Put up for sale for $783,000. This house, I drove by, it's in the country. It's a horse farm. It's on 5 acres. It has a big, huge red barn. It's 9 years newer than mine. And if you're looking at comparables, I think it's pretty poor to compare a horse farm to my house that's on a lot. Third one that I was given from the county is 235 Carey Lane. The 2-story, 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,700 square foot, built in 97, the same as mine. The house is in the country. It's on 2.34 acres. I don't know what the house sold for. It was up for $786,000. I contend this is a poor comparison due to the acreage. The last house that was given by Dustin is 3640 Thurfield Lane. This home is the one that appears to be a 1-story, just like the one across the street from me. But apparently they fixed the attic up. This was a 6-bedroom, 3-bath, 4,000 square foot. It was put up for sale for $584,000. But again, my house is up for $691 according to the county.
We better wrap up to make sure they got enough time.
All right, let me just discuss. Number 4. I spoke to a realtor, Angie Daw from Silver Creek Realty. She's their top salesman. And I said, look, can you do an analysis for me? And I said, I'm not going to tell you what the county did because I don't want to sway your impulse. Just do it. Give me your honest opinion. She came back and said, as of December of 2022, the house had a value of $599,900. You know, there's several things. Again, I follow real estate really closely that need to be considered other than just square footage, which I get the impression, obviously that's easy to do. Okay, you got to consider one, location. You got to consider the age of the home. You got to consider the condition of the home. You got to consider acreage included with the home. And I don't think that was done in this situation. So I'll yield to you guys. She gave me some of the comparables that I gave you. Originally, she came in and said, I've got some good comparables in your neighborhood. I said, they won't take them because they're single story. And she went back and gave me the 2-story ones that I gave you. The 3 that. At 155 West Woodhaven Lane and 1390 Blue Ridge Circle. I sent a copy of this when I'm going off of to Kayla.
Yeah, the 1390 is on our, I mean, we have a couple of those, 1390 is on our.
So when I first talked to Collins, the only copy I could give you over the phone was the first thing. He said he had some others, and I told him I followed the supervisor and called him and say, let's take it. And then he did not provide those 2 comp either, but we would have to include those. Comp number 2 he provided is actually on this list that I have today as well as those comparables. We did go through the interior of his home just via phone, and there's a couple of changes that I can make based on that information. So his average price per square foot is at $212, an average of 5 cells that we have reported comes in at $229. So he is below that average of the 5 provided. With the changes that we can make to his loan, he would be coming in at $209. If you were to even look at the ranch sale, we suggested on his comp number 3. I didn't include that one because it is a ranch sale.
That's the street that he indicated on the fair. Barrel's 243 and Blue Ridge is 200.
Woodhaven somewhere. Blue Ridge.
I agree. I didn't really.
This is the first time I'm seeing these. right? I drove by the comparables he gave me over the phone, and they were not the least bit comparable. And I hate to accept these, that if you're comparing, if these are on a horse farm, like one of the ones you gave me, to me, that's not a comparable.
Right, yeah, and the challenge, I completely understand that. The challenge is when we're going through these, and a lot of times we'll obviously send these upon request, but I'm having a quick conversation as we're going through it. Obviously, without the benefit of time, some of those are not going to be as.
What's been nice if you would have sent this to me. I sent my entire argument to you guys, gave you a chance to look at it. Now, I think when I used to work in the law field, all disclosure, everybody has a chance to look at the other person's argument and come prepared to discuss it.
And we certainly would. The challenge that we have is that we're preparing, we're working through these every day. And as far as preparing and having everything planned, this wasn't prepared 3 days ago.
In response to the disclosure.
I understand, but you understand they give me these 4 comparables, and I'm like, these aren't the least bit comparable. And I come here and it's like, this is the first time I've seen these. I don't know anything about them.
2 of the original comparables we get them are on this current switch sheet as well. I have a picture.
Do you?
Yeah.
Zoning. My house is stucco, but it's got the brick on the outside.
That one I think is mostly final. I can tell you that this one in particular is
Written stuck on. Yes.
I will say that as far as the two, we do have them graded pretty similarly as far as their quality. Not being more compared to that one. On Woodhaven as far as that. Great one sold in October 2022. Yep.
Put down what Andy told me. I originally had 6.5 now. And he said, well, I think it's worth $599.9. So I changed it. And I'm not pretending that valuations are subjective. They're subjective for me, they're subjective for you. That's where we use it for.
So maybe your square footage garage.
So we'll take
One basement.
One on wood.
just correcting.
It was adjusting the basement finish, and then removing this.
Take that down.
Yeah, I'll add out. Price per square foot.
You were to add the 178 to the list, the ones that we have.
You guys want to look, but as I said in my closing argument, you've got some factors that anybody that's in real estate, but why realtors say location, location, location. You've got the age of the home, the condition of the home, you've got all these other factors, and if all you're going to look at is square footage, like I said, I haven't looked at any of your homes. I drove by all the ones that you guys gave me previously, and I didn't see any that were comparable.
And I understand that the challenges that we're faced, we're forced to utilize what the market shows us in self-analysis. And I think for every person like yourself that may think that Fairway is not desirable, there's somebody that's going to say,
No, Fairway's a nice home, but it's not a horse farm.
right.
It's not a house in the country on 2.35 acres.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. But I wouldn't say it's any less desirable than some of these other Woodland Hills or South.
No, but I'm also saying you have to, my home has not been updated. I'm not a fancy person. I'm fine with, old cabinets, et cetera, et cetera.
First part of the home.
Without even telling you.
Tell us, three different.
moving the Pioneer.
Down. Or start. I don't have any guidance that on how to look at that yet. Okay. Well, meeting after 55, I'm sure it's a busy time.